Hi, this is Dan. We just wanted to let you know the episode you're about to hear we recorded the night before Ozzy passed. So we just wanted to give you that heads up before you listen to the interview to let you know where our state of mind was and why we don't mention it. I know this has been hard for all of us. Please reach out if you want to talk. If you have any questions or anything, we'd love to hear from us. We'd love to get through this together. You know, we lost our hero, our king, and just the person who means so much to all of us. Thank you for being such a huge supporter of our podcast, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Thanks.
Hey, how's it going? It's Jack Osborne. You are listening to The Diary of a Madman with Dan and Josh.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Diary of the Madman, the ultimate Ozzy Osbourne podcast where we geek out about all things Ozzy and all things Ozzy related. He is Mr. Daniel Drago. I am Josh Crum. How's it going, Dan?
I am doing fantastic as usual, Josh. You know, I always get so excited to do these because I get to see your face. You know, Josh lives in Kentucky and I live in Arizona, and we just don't get to see each other face to face enough. So every time we get to do a show that we record now, you know, Josh and I get to actually see each other and talk. I mean, we talk on the phone and we text every day, of course, but it's great to actually just get to see you, man.
Yeah,
so
I totally
how are things
agree.
going with you?
Things are good. You know, I would say that's a problem with modern society in general, right? We all text and don't really see each other anymore. But yeah, no, it's great to see you also and spend a little time talking about the things that matter the most. Ozzy Osbourne and all things Ozzy related, right? I do want to let listeners know out of the gate. I'm in Kentucky, like Dan said. We're having some major rain again and like flooding and whatever. So my internet's kind of herky jerky. So
hopefully no tornadoes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But bear with us if I freeze up a little or something. You know, hey, tough shit. This is what it is. Right. It's hard enough for us to do these anyway. So
big things happening in your world, Josh. As you see over my shoulder, Josh's new album, Downtrend, is out. It is excellent. I'm very jealous and excited for him because he produced a vinyl for the first time, and I've never done a vinyl. So, yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
The packaging done by our own Ryan Beavers looks amazing. The album sounds great. I'm just over the moon for you. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about the record?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dan and I have debated discussing our bands much on the show, but ultimately the show's about us also, and Ozzy and Tony and Zach and Randy brought us to being in bands. So, yeah, I think it's cool to give it a quick second. First off, yeah, thanks to Ryan for the awesome album art. He continues to knock everything he does out of the park like that. But, yeah, it's available August the 8th on all streaming platforms. In the meantime, on our web store and at our live shows, we do have the vinyl records and the CDs. Here they are. They look awesome. Nice. This is actually a geo map of my hometown where I live. I grew up right there in the middle of the eyeball. So Ryan's so creative cool. Like that. You know what I mean? That's all his awesome. Idea.
And yeah. I love the purple. A little throwback to Master Reality.
Yeah. You know, he gave us about 6 color options, and the band chose purple. And, of course, I was like, fuck yeah, Black Sabbath, purple and black. Let's go. But, yeah, we're excited about it, man. And it's my first vinyl. Like I said, we've released 6 albums and never done vinyl either. So when I opened it, Dan, it took my breath. I was like, oh, shit, we have vinyl. So you're next. It's coming for you very shortly.
Yeah,
so.
I think I just got to talk my guys into it. We have the material. I just got to sit down. You know, we do the singles thing now. Like, I hate it because I loved releasing records and I loved putting the order of the songs. That was like always really one of my favorite things to do, was trying to figure out the track listing order.
Yeah.
But now that we just do singles, we've kind of lost that magic. But I might take 8 of our songs and release a vinyl, because you can only do about 8 in this day and age. Total about 45 minutes is what you're allowed.
It was aside, 20 minutes aside, I believe. 23 aside, 22 aside, I believe is what it was. Yeah.
How many songs did you wind up doing?
We did 9. 2 of them were instrumental. So I have my first instrumental, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
My D is on there, and it's called Mud Creek Part 1. And Mud Creek's an area of eastern Kentucky that I live in now. I'm from Pikeville, but I moved to Mud Creek, which I think has a creepy damn name, so I thought it was kind of a cool sounding thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And we needed a little album filler. So I was like, I'm going to do a little acoustic piece and just kind of fill that in. And it bled perfectly into our lead single. So we opened with that and then bled into the lead single. So it kind of worked out. Same key and everything that just bled right through. So, yeah, we're excited about it.
Is?
Energy Vampire. That one's already available
There.
online. So you can go check that out. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, I appreciate it. So, yeah, appreciate that.
So, not much news this week. I mean, a couple of things. The one that I really am excited about is Youngblood, who we raved about on our last show. And I want to thank all of our audience for really, really coming out and supporting us. And, our last episode did so good, man. And it feels really great to be wanted. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but it really, Josh and I can't tell you how much we both appreciate it. And Ryan as well. We're, looking at the numbers every day, and we're over the moon how well our last episode did.
Yeah,
So
it did really
keep
good.
getting the word out there, man. I still think we haven't scratched the surface, quite frankly. There's so many Ozzy listeners, and I think we could definitely keep getting the word out there. But yeah, Youngblood Changes hit #1 on iTunes after 3 days, man, and I'm tickled pink.
Absolutely. And, again, all the money goes for Parkinson's research, right? So, I went and bought a copy for $1.29 on iTunes just to support that, you know? And that's the greatest thing. I mean, the greatest day in heavy metal history, capped off by that amazing version of Changes that just caught everyone's attention. I hate hearing some people, this guy's a nobody. No, he's not a nobody. He had over 1 million followers already.
He had over 2, I think.
He's just not in our country. Americans have a bad problem of believing we're the only ones that matter sometimes. I hate to say that, but Thin Lizzy is a great example of that. But totally awesome, man. And to be able to put this single out so quickly and release it for more charity work. And I think there's a lot more of this stuff coming too. I could see them doing Ozzy's set and the money goes to charity. I mean, they could keep this going for a long time. Yeah.
Do you think they do a dual release? Ozzy on one side, Black Sabbath on the other?
My only concern with that is Bill. Bill was okay. He got through, but is it really something anybody would want to listen to over and over either? So, but Ozzy's set was flawless.
I don't listen to much live stuff, but I'd be a first day buyer.
Of course. Yeah, and everyone would. And everyone, one thing I will say about the metalheads and just all the critics, whoever, they all understood. There was no criticism of Bill whatsoever.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about Slipknot drummer crying backstage when he met him. I mean, it was the greatest day in history in metal history, bar none. I don't know if we talked about it being, I think we did, the greatest, most charity ever raised by a concert.
Ever.
190 million. It'll topple 200 million. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say by the time you do the theatrical release and then you do the DVDs and Blu-rays,
and the singles and the iTunes and the Spotify streams and all that stuff. But I think it's amazing that Youngblood is huge in the UK, and he is quite unknown in America. And I think it's amazing that he is going to get his break in America with a Black Sabbath song.
How cool is that? How cool.
It's so amazing. And, I love it so much because it just shows it's not just another 50, 60, 40-year-old playing Ozzy stuff. It's great to see the younger generation also being touched by Ozzy. And he calls Ozzy for advice. Did you read that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ozzy was on one of his music videos about 2 years ago, Ozzy and Sharon both. So, I mean, there's definitely, I think he was on the Osbournes podcast once. So he's definitely on their radar. But, yeah, he's such a cool guy. And, you got to give credit also, not taken away from Youngblood because his performance is fucking bar none. It was the performance of the day. But Nuno's guitar solo, dude, is when I'm fuck.
Nuno is the MVP. I would love to see Nuno and Youngblood with Frankie and Adam Wakeman and I guess Sleep Token too. But it would be cool if those guys did some originals together.
Yeah.
They sounded great together.
The chemistry was there, right? It was absolutely there. Yeah.
I agree. But hats off to them. And I love that was the first single because it was the best performance of the day.
It was. And you mentioned me on our chat, and I really hadn't overly noticed it till you said it. The crowd singing along so loud.
Oh God, I get chills every time I listen to it.
Yes, such a great performance.
And when you watch the YouTube version, and I remember watching it live, I swear to God, the kid wins the crowd over from the beginning of the song to the end.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I think the crowd is kind of like, all right, who the fuck is this? And then by the end, they're going crazy. And as an artist, I'm getting chills talking about it. I'm not lying. As an artist, that is incredible, right?
I may have said it on the last episode. I know I said it to you and Ryan in the group chat. I said in real time as I was watching it, I texted Ryan. I said, "This feels religious right now. Like
Yeah.
this is a holy shit
It's-
moment."
And I can't remember who said it. I think it was Ryan or you, but this was the Freddie Mercury Live Aid moment, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and this was the modern day version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But
the kid sounds amazing.
He's
man.
a great
Amazing.
singer, dude. Yeah, he's a great singer. The whole group though made it their own, like so perfectly. You know, when the drums drop in at the perfect time, everything, adding a guitar solo, and just it's like, what the fuck?
Even Nuno's little fills before the band comes in, just gorgeous. Dude, Nuno was the MVP. No question about it.
Yeah.
I love that he is getting some love because everybody is talking how great Nuno was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish Nuno was the special guest on the new Ozzy record. I'll tell you that much right now. That
Yeah.
would be fantastic.
That might
And
be
yes,
something.
I do believe. Yeah.
Nah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do believe there's going to be another Ozzy record.
I do too.
Andrew Watson said it. Yeah.
And you know, this performance from Nuno might be enough to make it happen. Like, hey, it never happened in 1995, but let's do this now. Let's
Dude,
record
he tried out
something.
for him after Randy died.
Mm-hmm.
He was a kid, and he sent him in tapes.
Yeah,
That's how long
but
he's been.
you know,
fighting.
Andrew Watt was on the side of the stage going, "If I could do
Oh, yeah.
this," like right there,
God is amazing.
like
Absolutely amazing.
you know. So
And then the other big news is, of course, related. They're going to release a truncated version of the show as a theater release, which I don't know if I'll go see it, but I think it's a cool idea and a cool concept.
I will just to hear the audio on that kind of stereo. I think it'd be neat.
Well, if they blend behind the scenes shit within it, I would definitely go because
Well,
there's something new.
I read just today that they are, and
Okay.
that it's going to be an hour and 40 minutes, so very condensed. But it's going to
Holy
focus.
shit.
But it's going to focus on Ozzy and Black Sabbath. So I don't know how much of
Okay.
the other bands will even be in it. I
Then
think
I'll
a lot
go
of
see it.
I think a lot of that could be the licensing issues and such. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
ticky-tack shit with that, and it's not the artist's fault. It's labels who own the songs and such saying, you can use an art track, you know, or whatever. So I think it's going to focus on Ozzy and Sabbath. So I think that'll be the case.
Tick-tack shit. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then of course they'll
yeah,
do a Blu-ray and everything else. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I bought a bootleg Blu-ray on eBay, and it looks amazing. It's worth it.
Yeah, I will hold off till the original comes out, but I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
So let's jump in. Josh, why don't you tell the listeners what our awesome topic is?
Okay, today's awesome topic. I got to see how Ryan actually titled this, because when he does the art, he titles shit, and he's the one that kind of makes that. The title of today is All Up the B-Sides. So today,
Yes.
Dan and I are going to be discussing the B-side tracks, the tracks no other show's going to discuss, but the ones that guys like us jack off to still yet. We're going to be discussing those tracks.
Yeah, I love it. So a couple of things about this. This is what we live for, right? I love the deep B-sides. And when we say B-sides, it has to have been released on a single or maybe a Japanese only or something to that effect. What our goal is today is, I assume you guys know most of these songs. I'm going to turn my camera there. Okay. And our goal is hopefully maybe turn you on to some other ideas and songs that maybe you're not that familiar with. But most of you guys probably know all these songs. We're going to go through every album, tell you what the B-sides are. Then we're going to see if we would replace any songs on the record. That was Josh's idea, which is great, with one of the B-sides. And we're going to tell you which one. And then we're going to rank them at the end. So there's 20 songs. There are 2 songs we did not include, and that is, go ahead,
No, go ahead. You're rolling.
Back to Earth, which is on Ozman Cometh, and Walk on Water, which was on the Beavis and Butthead CD. And we just didn't feel that they were quite B-sides. You know, Back on Earth, they were both released as A-sides, quite frankly. They both had singles.
Eventually,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so we will do an episode with maybe like oddball tracks like that, and just we will cover them because Back on Earth is one of my all-time favorite songs. For
One
sure.
of mine also. And Back on Earth was a massive success. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
so hard to view that as a B-side, you know, in our
I
world.
think,
So
yeah, I don't think it would have been fair to the other tracks, quite
Yeah.
frankly. All right, so let's get started. The first album is Blizzard of Oz, and we had 2 B-sides for Blizzard of Oz. Josh, which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with You Looking at Me, Looking at You, the obvious one.
Awesome. Hey, so that was a B-side to Crazy Train when it came out. It was released in 81, February of 81 in the U.S., written by Ozzy, Randy Rhoads, and Bob Daisley, and Lee Kerslake, correct? No. Lee Kerslake. That you said it all. My bad. Yep. So it's Ozzy, Randy, and Bob. This was an early track recorded and had all the intentions of making the record, and it was removed at the last minute for No Ball Movies to give Lee a writing credit on the record.
Exactly.
So, sorry, my brain, we were talking, you said it all. So, yeah, that is a pretty early song, very rarely played live. I do have a couple of bootleg live versions of it, which I love. And I think it had every intention to make the record, don't you?
100%. And that's going to get me on a soapbox already. The Southampton live show. This fucking release it, Osborne's. Yeah. Fucking release it. You have a concert that you've planned to release for 20 years now that you still haven't, of Ozzy, Randy, Lee Kerslake, and Bob Daisley. We all know why it's not being released. We get it. Get over it. Take care of the fans. That live concert in Southampton, 1980, has You Looking at Me, Looking at You on it, and we got to get that at some point. We just got to.
And that's not the version I have, by the way.
No, I have the Chimps Ford. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah. One of the first tracks written, I think if you are a massive Randy Rhoads fan and a guitar player, you're going to notice it sounds like the closest thing to a Quiet Riot Randy Rhoads song that he ever did with Ozzy. I think there's definitely elements of...
Didn't he just reuse that whole solo break?
He sampled the solo. Yep, the same guitar solo. But even just the styling of the song, it sounds more like a poppy... It's definitely not as heavy as the rest of the record went on to be. I think Randy's still...
Train isn't that heavy either, quite frankly.
It's not.
The intro riff is, but I think there's a lot of pop on Blizzard of Oz. There's a lot of metal, of course, too, but I think Ozzy went more pop, obviously, when he left Sabbath. So I think it fit. It would have definitely been one of his most poppiest songs in his career up until he went a lot more pop.
Yeah.
But what song is the Quiet Riot song that he took that from?
Breaking Up is a Heartache. Is the guitar solo. Yeah, it's the same guitar solo, which is my favorite Quiet Riot song.
Chord progression. I'm sure Bob Daisley said he wrote the chord progression.
Yeah.
But it's the same exact chord progression in the Quiet Riot song.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the song? I mean, I know I have my feelings.
I have mine. I love this song. Do I think it's better than No Bone Movies? I do. I will go ahead and say that. We're going to do this for these episodes anyway. That'll be mine. I would put this on the album over No Bone Movies, personally.
So you think the original track listing was better, that they should have just kept it instead of No Bone Movies?
I do.
And they made a mistake by saying cut it and let's add No Bone Movies.
It's if I go, which song do I like better? I like You Looking at Me, Looking at You better. Now, that said, sometimes album flow matters. And my dog's barking in the background. I'm sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, so my dog's barking in the background, by the way. So if you all can hear that, I apologize. But that said, it's hard to imagine that album without No Bone Movies because it flows.
I'm going to say that about every album that we switch.
Right.
But, it's hard to change. I was thinking about this morning. It's hard to change one of the greatest albums of all time. It just is.
Right.
To your point.
Absolutely.
But I would absolutely replace No Bone Movies with it. I think the song is a pop, it's a genius pop song. It's the best way I can say it. Those melodies are fucking infectious.
Yes.
That hook is just so catchy, and Ozzy really, really knocked it out of the park with his melody on this song. And Randy's guitar playing is stellar.
I'll tell you another thing real quick before we move on. My kids, when your kids are smaller, they listen to your music. And all my kids like Ozzy because I forced them to. But they're 15 now. They're starting to listen to my little girl. She's in the country. My son likes the hip-hop. He likes a little bit of rock. But, I'll be listening to Ozzy, and they're still to this day cool with Ozzy. They can listen to Ozzy. The day before yesterday, You Looking at Me, Looking at You was on. I was kind of preparing for this show and jamming those songs a little. And I hear in the back, You Looking at... There's Caden singing along because you just can't resist. Yeah.
So this has the obviously original Blizzard of Oz lineup. Bob and Lee are playing on it, produced by Max Norman. So this was recorded right during those same sessions. So they recorded 10 songs if you count D as being in the ninth for the Blizzard of Oz sessions.
Yep.
All right. So a quick question before we go to You Said It All, which is next. Do we have to pull off a different song, or can we use No Bone Movies again?
I think we can still use it. Why not?
That was a clarification I had. All right, up next we have You Said It All, which was originally on the Mr. Crowley EP. This has been on a ton. It was on the Shot in the Dark single. It was on the Crazy Baby single. So Ozzy's kind of used this. I have it quite a few times on vinyl. And I should add that it's also on that album, The Other Side of Ozzy Osbourne, that was released in Japan, which was a B-sides record.
And then they finally did it on Blizzard digital for
Yeah.
the
And then-
40th anniversary or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And then it's on the B-side album that Ozzy put in his box set. So some of these songs are now on that box set. I know it's an official release, but since it's only in the box set, I don't really kind of count it, right?
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so up next is You Said It All. That is written by Ozzy, Randy, Bob Daisley, and Lee Kerslake. And I am dying to talk about this because of the history on it. So those are the same people that play on it. They're also produced by Max Norman. He brought out a recording truck, and they recorded that during a sound check, so it is not actually live. I'm sure I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, even though the thing about old Ozzy that I love, and it's specifically this song, the whole Mr. Crowley EP, the So Tired EP, Speak of the Devil, and I know you're the same way, I could say Ozzy's banter, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do another number for you now. I love that at the end of the song. I don't know why, but that's little things like that just bring a smile to my
Absolutely, they do.
That's
It's so funny. This morning I was driving to work and Speak of the Devil was playing. And, Let's have a riot! And I was like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so fucking cool,
It's
you
the
know?
greatest, man.
Yeah.
Speak of the Devil, the best live album of all time. Coincidentally, I got the shirt on. Okay, so Josh, why don't you go ahead since I'm kind of emceeing this a little bit since I have a lot of info. What's your take on You Said It All?
You Said It All has always been, for me, the standout different track. Does that make sense at all? Like, it's like the one that you just don't hear about much, but that you love it as much as anything else.
Funny, growing up, you heard more about that because it was on the Mr. Crowley EP than you did You Said It All. I'm sorry, than you looking at me. But as time has passed, it's flip-flopped.
Yeah, not for me as much. Not for me as much.
I'm talking about in 82, 83.
In the golden era back there,
In
you
the
know.
golden era.
But no, to me, it was always the one that was more obscure and harder to find. I remember being so excited to finally locate a Crazy Baby CD on eBay so I could get
Right.
that, to get it on a CD, so it's different times back then. But love
And
that
that's the
song.
Mr. Crowley EP?
Not on a CD. I wanted a CD.
Oh, CD.
Yeah,
It was
I wanted a
hard to
CD.
find on CD. You are right.
Yes.
I had it 3 times on vinyl. 4
Yeah.
times on vinyl. Yeah.
One thing that stands out about it, Randy's guitar solo was recorded in the truck afterward. You can tell it's a much thinner tone. It's not your quintessential Randy Rhoads tone at all, but at the same time he's slaying because he's Randy Rhoads. I mean, it's such a
Right.
catchy, again, melodic solo like he always could, One thing I always found interesting, I'm going to pick your brain on this. Do you find the main riff, da 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 da, is that Full for Your Lovin' by Whitesnake?
It could be similar. I don't think Randy copped it.
I don't think he would ever just steal, no, by no means. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I wonder if there's a little influence on that. It's very
Yeah. I
similar.
actually think this one is very Quiet Riot as well. This
I
one
agree.
is not that far removed from No Bone Movies. It's a very, I use the term rock and roll. It's a very rock and roll song.
Absolutely.
No Bone Movies is a very rock and roll song. It's just go through, I think they're probably both in the key of A. It's just got that classic rock and roll vibe, that Chuck Berry lick.
Yeah.
And I feel the same about You Said It All for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear that, Fool for Your Lovin'. I'm going to have to A-B them now that you brought it up.
Yeah, it's close. Of course, I think melodies were actually written on this one by Lee Kerslake. I don't think that's ever really.
And
You didn't know
that's
so
what I
sure.
wanna get into.
Okay, well
No,
let's go.
because all right, let's get it. You've been in a band a long time. I've been in a band for 35 years or something. If Max Norman came out and we had to pay for the recording truck, because the rumor is this: Bob Daisley claims Ozzy was passed out under the stage, and Lee Kerslake wrote the melody. Right?
Yeah,
Right. What are the chances they wrote the song that day?
yeah. I don't buy that for a second.
But that's
No
what
way.
he claimed. Yeah. So what I think it is Ozzy was passed out on the stage, and Lee Kerslake probably sang the song while they performed it. But there's no way he wrote the melody. That's my take. You don't hire and spend all that money to bring Max Norman in and then say, oh, we don't have a song to record. There is no way that wasn't written beforehand.
Right. Yeah, they had to have plenty of time on that notice, especially in those days. Like, you could do it now quicker and easier, but not back then.
But Bob's story is it was written that day with Ozzy passed out onto the stage.
Yeah, I'm not buying
hard to
that.
believe.
Do I believe that Lee could have helped with melodies? I don't say possibly. I mean, I could hear him doing, and I was going, yeah, I dig that. Let's roll with, because as a band, that's what you do. Like, yeah, I dig that. Let's roll with that.
But Ozzy refused to sing Dave Walker's melodies.
Yeah, there's spite there, though. That's a little spite, though, because he had been out of the band, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just don't know if Ozzy would sing somebody else's melodies. You know, unless somebody else wrote the song, like, you know, Back on Earth. And he even is on record saying that song was so weird for me because I didn't write the melody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, I believe that as much as I believe Lee Kerslake wrote Flying High Again and Tonight. And I
Right. Well, you've heard the audio of Lee singing it. Yeah, it sounds nothing like the damn actual song, but yeah.
Like yeah. So,
but no.
Do I think he probably helped guide the band singing it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Did he help maybe with the melody a little bit? Yes. But to say Ozzy wasn't involved, I just don't buy it. Because I think that song was recorded and done before they ever showed up. It's
such a tired conversation, and, you know, the Ozzy versus Bob thing. I think for people like Dan and I who are such Ozzy, you know, defenders, let me just explain this to people who maybe don't understand why we want to defend him so much. We're not saying Ozzy's always right. We're not saying the Osbournes are always the answer and they're always perfect and they don't do wrong. We're not saying that. We're saying it's never quite as bad as Bob says it was either. There's a middle. It's like Bob says it was this bad and they say it's this bad. The answer is truthfully probably right here on how things really were. We've all been in bands with members like, man, I wrote every fucking thing we did. And it's like, come on, dude, you know better than that. We've all been with those guys. I think Bob was a monumental part of everything, of course. There's no denying Bob Daisley in the history of Ozzy solo.
Bob is as instrumental as Randy on those early records.
Yes. But that said, Bob says Ozzy did zero. And that's what pisses us off. Zero. Did nothing. Was not even there. Didn't even write.
Doesn't say that.
On. Well, or
yeah, Bob doesn't say that. He does on this song, "Flying High Again" and "Tonight," but I just don't buy it.
Yeah,
I don't.
So, what's your thoughts on the
before? Go ahead.
No, what's your? I was gonna say, what's your thoughts on the track, though?
I fucking love it, man. I'm sorry, I should have said that. I think it's an all-time classic. I've had this song since the Mr. Crowley EP, whenever that came out in, '81, and God, it's just been as influential to me as Blizzard, to be quite frank. Ozzy's single tracked, which is cool. He sounds incredible on it. Mm-hmm. The chorus is amazing. It's so catchy, dude. It's just so good, man.
He's high too. That's a high track.
He is high. It is hard to sing, and he nailed it. I'm sure he did his vocals in the truck as well, of course. But it's great. I fucking love it. I think it is as good as You Looking at Me. It's right there. I would also replace No Bone Movies.
Yeah.
And Suicide Solution with both of those tracks. Can I say that? So I think it's not fair to replace the same track, because now you have to replace You Looking at Me, Looking at You, because it's already replaced No Bone Movies. So I would replace Suicide Solution with You Said It All. I absolutely would.
We differ there. I would replace, No Bone Movies, but I wouldn't replace any other track for it. I do love it. I'm with you. It's right there with You Looking at You, though. That whole album, that whole era, man. God, you cannot touch it. You can't touch it.
Nope.
So.
And we're going to spend more time on the Randy stuff, because that's just what we do. All right, up next is Diary of a Madman. And there are no B-sides, unfortunately, for Diary of a Madman. That was every song they had, unfortunately. I would have killed. That's the best era of all time of anybody in any band, and there's just nothing out there. All right, up next we have Bark at the Moon. We have 2 tracks from Bark at the Moon. We're going to use the U.S. version. I wanted to be clear on this, because the UK version had Spiders. The American version had Slow Down. So for our B-sides, it's going to be Spiders and B-side, one of the B-side. We'll get to B-side, but Spiders is the first track we'll talk about. That was written by Ozzy, but obviously written by Ozzy. Bob Daisley, Jake E. Lee, and Tommy Aldridge. I read a little clip on this, and that song started with Tommy playing the drum beat and Bob playing that bass line first. That was the first thing that came of that song, which is cool. And then Jake added that riff. Ozzy, Jake, Bob, Tommy, Don Airy played on it, produced by Max Norman, recorded during the Bark at the Moon sessions. What's your take on Spiders?
I love this track. Love it. And the fact that Jake broke it out live with the Red Dragon Cartel on his last tour, like, how fucking cool is that? Like, that's fucking great. I could totally hear that. Like, you got the beat going, then it's boom, boom, and then Jake just coming in with the slides and the pick scrapes.
Yeah.
I could see that totally being a jam moment, all that together. So, such a creepy, catchy little track, man. Got a good groove. I mean, it's classic Jakey Lee era to me. Like, that sounds like the Jakey Lee era of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I love this song, I love them all.
I think it's Jake's most Sabbathy song. Wah, wah, wah. It sounds like something Tony could have written, like a Shockwave or something like that. It's definitely got that Sabbath vibe to it. I don't know if he uses the fifth interval on that. I'd have to take a look. But I definitely hear some Sabbath in that song, quite frankly. And Ozzy's vocals are deceptively high in this one, too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the theme throughout his career. People just don't realize how high he sings these songs.
That song is so high. He even cracks a little bit in this song. Or I shouldn't say crack, he's a little off key in spots on some of those notes, but it's endearing when Ozzy's off key because it's not like he's, super flat. It could be just 10 cents below the meter, the note he's trying to hit. But I think this is a heavy, great song. If you guys have not heard it, I'm sure everybody's heard Spiders. So let's ask the question, Josh. Which version is better, the UK version of Bark or the US version of Bark?
That probably makes the UK version better because Spiders is one of the top. It's one of my favorite songs on these whole sessions. It's probably a top 5 song for me on the whole Bark at the Moon session.
So
I really like this song.
What song would you remove?
I'm probably going to remove Center of Eternity. That one never catches me like the others do. I know.
It's one of Ozzy's fastest songs.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's lightning. I get it, but that's probably where I'm going to go. I don't know. This is always the bummer moment, and I've always felt Spiders is like Jake and Bob's version of Believer a little bit too. It has a Believer vibe to it.
And I think Believer's kind of Sabbathy. Yeah, I totally agree. I would remove Slow Down, so I prefer the UK version, basically, of Bark at the Moon. But great track. Nothing against Slow Down. I think if the keyboards were a little lighter and Slow Down, I think it's got one of the craziest bass lines in Ozzy's career. Bob just slays on that song. But ultimately, I think Spiders is better than Slow Down.
I agree with that also.
So that was on the Bark at the Moon B-side, by the way.
Yep.
And the next song we're going to talk about was on the So Tired B-side, and that is called, I've seen it titled 2 different things. One time I've seen it called One Up the B-side, and I've seen it called B-side. So it was originally called B-side on my single, because I have the So Tired 45, and I have the Bark at the Moon 45. So I've had these songs since, 83, 84. Which I was so excited to find. I was so confused when I got the So Tired one because the B-side
I was 3
B-side.
and 4 in 83 and 84, and you were already owning Ozzy like records and shit. That's awesome. Listen, I give Dan a hard time. He knows I am so jealous he saw Ozzy with Jake. He already knows that. So fuck it. Yeah. I would give up my youth to have seen cool shit like that.
Ugh, I'm getting old though, man.
And on his first run, with Zach, because my first time was with Joe Holmes. I love Joe, but it ain't Zach and I know.
So this also has the same lineup as Bark, Ozzy, Jake, Bob, Tommy, and Don. Written by Ozzy, obviously written by Ozzy, Bob, and Jake. I mean, I really can't see anything, but that's clearly a Jake riff,
Oh yeah.
I do love this song, man. I think it jams. I think it's one of Jake's coolest riffs, and it's got that rock and roll rebel vibe where he has a lot of little mini leads, right? And I love that about this song.
Yep.
So I'm sorry I went first, but I think this song is awesome. I don't think I would replace anything off of Bark with this one. I feel, even though I like it better than Songs from a flow, from a topic standpoint, it's very similar to Now You See It, Now You Know. They're both kind of got that sexy, sex overtones. I probably prefer Now You See It, Now You Don't, just a little bit better. Don't fuck with me, Josh.
I got a mental picture. The sexy. I pictured Dan and his wife laying, but he's like, turn on some sexy music, Dan. And Dan's like, one up the B side. I got the perfect song. Hold on.
Yeah, I got one. So I do think it's an awesome song. I just Bark at the Moon, as everybody who listens to this knows, is my third favorite Ozzy record. And it's very, very tough for me to replace anything. So
yeah.
I love B-side, but I don't think I'd replace anything. What's your thoughts?
I kind of agree with you on everything you said. Rock and Roll Rebel vibe. It's just a rocker. Would not replace anything on the album with it. I do love it. It feels like a B-side to me. It's missing just a little bit of something. It's like it's right fucking there, though. You know what I mean? It's so close. But it's not over the hump. And that's just how it's always felt to me. It felt just a little, I won't say unfinished, but like you could have just put a little more work into this one and it could have been a single, but yet it's not quite there. So I do love it. Like you said, yeah, it's just, it falls a little flatter for me. So it always felt like a B-side, but that said, it's a fun track. I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, Now You See It, Now You Don't. Isn't that about him hiding his dick?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and one of the beats. Those are Ozzy topics. Poor Bob, man. Can you imagine? Bob did such a great job of writing the lyrics to this song because, one of the B-side guys, we know what that song's about. So
Dan's sex life, as we just discussed. His sexy music.
My sexy music.
That's great.
Okay. All right, so that ends Bark. Then we go to Ultimate Sin. And again, like Diary, the only two albums in Ozzy's career, well, except his later ones, of course.
Yeah.
But the Ultimate Sin does not have any B-sides. Josh, next up is No Rest for the Wicked. We debate on including this next song, but I felt very strongly that we should because it was not on my original vinyl back in 1988. And that is Hero from No Rest for the Wicked. Josh, why don't you talk a little bit about it? Oh, before we turn it over to you, it was originally the untitled track on No Rest, written by Ozzy, Bob Daisley, Zakk Wylde, John Sinclair, and Randy Castillo, produced by Rory Thomas Baker and Keith Olsen, released 9/28/88, and it's got Ozzy, Zakk, Bob, Randy, and John on it.
Yeah.
What do you think of Hero?
Yeah, we debated on this one, and I was actually in favor of not putting it on the list until you said we didn't cover it on our deep cuts or in-depth review of No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest. Exactly.
Yeah, so it was like we gotta do this. So it's a great. I mean, vocally one of Ozzy's best performances maybe ever. He sounds so fucking great in this. As Dan would say, Ozzy sounds like a god. That's a phrase I coin all the time now because of Dan. Just Ozzy sounds like a god. The moment for me in this track has always been the breakdown in the middle, though. Dun 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 dun. I fucking love that section. Love it.
Definitely Zack's contribution, right?
Oh, for sure. And honestly, as a song, I find it kind of, tame for the most of the time. And then that fucking breakdown comes in. I'm like, okay, this is fucking badass. But that said, to me, it does have B-side feel to it all day long. And it's not one that I necessarily frequent as much as I do a lot of the others.
Okay. I actually think it's a lot heavier than people give it credit for. It starts off with that really pretty John Sinclair intro, and then it kicks in. Dun-dun-dun. I think it's, I think it's a fantastic song. I think it's one of my favorite songs lyrically that Bob has ever written. It's got that classic Ozzy, don't look for me. I don't want to be a hero. I don't ever want to let you down. I can try to take you higher, but I don't wear your broken crown. That is so good. It brings me down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go over a lot of the lyrics, but there's just something about this song lyrically that gives me chills. Ozzy's performance is top notch. This would absolutely make my Ozzy performance list once we ever do that episode when we talk about Ozzy's performances. Don't think you'll ever understand me. I don't even understand me. To me, that's me talking. Like, how does that not relate to you, right? To
right.
me, It's incredible. Then, you know, great guitar solo, great middle section, you know, and then it goes back to that. So I don't want to be a hero, don't want to sit upon your crippled throne. Oh my God, that's some
It's good
great
shit.
lyrics, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good shit. And
good
the
shit.
melodies are fantastic. And then you got that Beatles outro that, you know, Please Don't Go, which still gives me chills. Please, you know, and it's one of my favorite Ozzy moments of his career, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I love this song, and I would absolutely replace any song on the album because it's my favorite song from the sessions.
Wow. Huge statement. I know you're big on it, and it's not that I'm not. It's just, and another thing the one thing you didn't mention about it that's definitely killer is all Zach's fills and shit throughout the verses.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
he's
so
doing all
good.
those little fills and heavy chugs and back, you know, he's
And
wanking
you
on it
know,
in a good way.
No Rest is one of my all-time favorite records. It's either 4 or 5, depending on the day with Osmosis. But I am bummed Hero's not on it. I think it's heavy enough to fit with the flow of this record. You know, it is. I can't believe, Josh, you like Crazy Babies better than Hero. That fucking blows my mind.
It's not. Oh God, you put me on the spot with that. That's kind of true. I like Hero where it is, like as that ninth, like untitled whatever track. Like I love that for it. It deserves release for sure. It's a lot better than The Liar.
So we'll get there. So just real quick story. I was a sophomore in '88, I think. No, maybe a junior. I was a junior going into senior year. I don't know, sophomore going into junior year. And that's when this album came out. And I bought the vinyl, because at that time I bought vinyl. And I remember going to school the next day talking to my metal friends, like, oh my God, the new Ozzy's incredible. And my buddy's like, oh, what did you think of that last hidden track? I'm like, Demon Alcohol? What are you talking about? He's like, no, there's a track after Demon Alcohol. And I was so fucking pissed that it was on his cassette, the hidden track, and not. So he let me borrow it. I went home and, you know, I went out and bought the cassette too the next day because I had no idea that track even existed
Yeah.
back in 1988. But it was not on the original vinyl. So it really was a hidden track, which is pretty cool. One of the
Yeah.
first I can think of, right? Is
Yeah.
there anybody else ever really done that?
I mean, it was
Before '88.
such a thing around that era, but I don't know who might have
was
done it first.
after.
But
It was more when CDs came in.
yeah,
You
I don't know.
CDs were just starting. You know,
Why
they were
wasn't
there,
it? You being a vinyl guy the way you are, why wasn't it? Was there just no time for it on the vinyl? You think?
I guess not. Maybe they just didn't think. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never read why
Yeah.
it didn't make it. Ozzy probably doesn't know. Ozzy doesn't know the difference between Breaking All the Rules and Hero. They're just, for him, they're two songs that were recorded during that session. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have The Liar from No Rest for the Wicked. Same lineup as the No Rest for the Wicked. This one is written by Ozzy, Bob Daisley, John Sinclair. There is no Zach songwriting credit on this song. And this was a Japanese track, B-side, for the No Rest for the Wicked record. This song I didn't hear till many, many years later. I was at Zia, the local record store here in Arizona, and they had a copy of it. I wasn't even familiar with it. And I pulled it out, and I saw The Liar. And I was like, what the hell? And I, of course, bought it, took it home. And I would say it was maybe the most disappointed Ozzy track I'd ever heard at that time. So why don't you go ahead and give your review of The Liar, Josh?
Yeah, it's near the bottom of my Ozzy fandom. Also, Ozzy does a great performance. I think he sounds wonderful on the track. I can't hear it without wondering if Bob penned those lyrics about Ozzy being a liar. I just always wonder about shit like that, like a secret loser about Ozzy being a loser. Sometimes I can't help but go there a little bit when I know he wrote the lyrics, and then I'm kind of like,
Yeah. Well, he claims Suicide Solution was
Yeah.
about Ozzy,
right.
which I'm sure they would.
So, yeah, in his mind and in Ozzy's mind, his contribution was about Bon Scott. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just always been a track that I found a little flat. We love all these songs, we know that, but like it's never did do a whole lot for me. Other than Ozzy's vocal performance sounds pretty good. Just mellow, overly mellow, and just melodramatic, and just not. It just doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah, and I think the heartbreak for me is, and we've mentioned this time and time again, no pun intended, actually pun intended, on the show, is I guess it's Time After Time. Ozzy slays ballads. You know, Ozzy, there is nobody better at ballads than Ozzy in metal. You know, from Close My Eyes Forever, Goodbye to Romance, to Mama I'm Coming Home, to Old LA Tonight. They're all absolutely phenomenal. And this is my least liked ballad I think Ozzy's ever done.
All the way down to Gods to this day. I mean, like, you know what I mean? He's still slaying ballads all these years later.
Yeah, even the, Ordinary Man, oh, Holy for Tonight, I mean, the new album's got not many ballads, but, the ballads on the record are fantastic. There's just something about, I don't even really like his performance that much. I don't like the melody that well. The song just does not do it for me, and I'm so happy it did not make the record.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think the piano's pretty, and, if you would have heard Ozzy was writing a piano song back in 1988, I would have probably been like, oh my fucking God, I can't wait.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just not very Beatle-y either, right? And I think that's the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's haunting. I could say that, right? The melodies, you ask me the time of day, I tell you I don't know. Listen, like you said, I would never shut it off, but I just don't go out of my way to listen to the Lyre very often.
100%. And, one thing Ozzy always has is just catchy melodies, and this song is one that kind of lacks that. There's no real, memorable, it just, you'll never forget that moment in this track. Other than maybe when he holds that, who's the liar? And he holds that for song at the end of
That's
it.
the least. That's the part of the song I like the least.
I know, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying it's the most memorable. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
like
it's
that
just
part.
not a great,
Yeah,
not a great track.
All right, up next we have the No More Tears record. All right, this is where we're going to box a little bit, I think. So the first No More Tears single is Don't Blame Me, which he named his documentary after at that same time period. It was on the Mama I'm Coming Home single. There's two versions of Don't Blame Me, so we are going to talk about that. This is written by Ozzy, Zach, and Randy Castillo, recorded during the No More Tears album session, so it's produced by Dwayne Barron and John Purdell. All right, so Josh, I know you get a little confused sometimes on this. What I know which is the real version, and I consider the real version the version on the single that was released in 1991 that I have, that I'm sure you have. And then when they went, for some reason, on the 2000 remasters, they threw a different version on that sounds like a demo to me, which I've run a line that people like it better. I think you've told me you like it better, and we're going to talk about this. I think it is far inferior. So the lyrics are completely different on both. So the demo version on the 2000 starts with Everywhere I Go, People Always Seem to Know, Who Am I and What I'm About. It's a lot more personal where, he's talking about I'm going nowhere, and then he's got that television, superstition, genocidal tendencies. That's the demo. Now, which version, and I'll get into let me pull up the lyrics for the other version. Which version do you prefer?
I've always thought that I preferred the demo, but I get confused all the time on this.
Interesting.
Well, they later on re-released again and switched them again. I think on the streaming
the version
sites.
right now is the right version. It's
Yeah.
on Spotify and Apple Music. So that starts with Everybody Knows All the Highs and All the Lows.
Now that's the one I
And,
prefer.
And in Nothing That Ever Goes Right, it's not up to me if you look. So that one says like going nowhere, where the other version says I am going nowhere. The real version is that the like going nowhere, where he says it's a vision, not religion, and the truth is plain to see. That is the real version.
That's the one I
Recorded in the
like.
studio. Yeah, that's the one that I like. The
Okay.
other version that was on the 2010 or whatever, 2000 remasters is the television superstition genocidal tendencies. That one is, to me, far inferior. So hopefully we're telling you guys that there are two versions of this. I'm sure you know that already. So let's talk about the one on the No More Tears single, which is way cooler, way cooler. So why don't you tell us about that song?
Okay, fun, good energy. Love the riff. Da, 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 da. Zach had such a energetic vibe in that era. I think that was just,
I
you know,
miss it.
yeah. It wasn't a chug all the time. You know what I mean? Not knocking him, it's just the reality. The song has great energy. I think I've said it before on another episode. I always had an issue with the drum beat on the chorus. You knew I was going there. Dun, 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 dun,
Crazy
dun.
with that.
I hate that. I just
I'm gonna call you out later because there are two songs that also do it.
I just
And I know you
wish.
hate one of them also, that same part, and I know it, and it's on this episode. I'm curious if you don't like the other one, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. All in all, it's a song that I do enjoy. I don't enjoy it like I do a lot of other tracks. Like to me, it sounds like kind of like one up the B side. It sounds like a B side to me. Definitely got catchy melodies, lyrically very cool. I think both versions are cool lyrically. Like you
Yeah,
was
I
going
think
over the
the first
lyrics
version's
just
more
then.
Ozzy,
Yeah.
and then I think it was rewritten probably by Zach and Randy.
Again, fun riff, good groove. I just something about that chorus, man. Chorus just falls flat with me. I can't help it.
I think it's great. I love
Yeah.
that. I love the vibe and the rock feel of this. I would have to say there is a part that's very reminiscent of Zombie Stomp. That little guitar breakdown, not vocals. There's just that little guitar breakdown that I think yeah, right? Isn't it kind of similar?
I
Yeah.
100%.
So I think
That palm
that's why
muted
it didn't
kind
make the
of
record.
dance. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's why it didn't make the record. Overall, I love the vocals. Ozzy sounds, I think from 91 to 95 is Ozzy's best vocals of his career. He sounds, well, I'll just take it back. I think he sounds great even on the No Rest record. So 88 through 95 is Ozzy's high point, I think, his
I
whole
agree.
career. Even over the Sabotage era. I know that's great, but Ozzy's way more controlled in 88 to 95. I think that this song is rocking. It would be way better than some of the songs on No More Tears for me personally. I would definitely put it above AVH all day, every day.
Yeah.
You would-
Yeah. It's right there with it to me. They're kind of neck and neck. So I'd probably just leave it as is. But I like the pre-chorus a lot. You know, I'm going nowhere. Done. Yeah, I like that. That's the best part of the song to me. But
Nowhere, baby.
yeah.
It's a great part.
Nowhere, baby. Yes, that's my favorite part of the song. That and the little breakdown we'd done a minute ago. I kind of like that section to the zombie stomp kind of moment. But yeah, it sounds like a B-side to me.
Okay. So it would not make No More Tears. It would make mine No More
No.
Tears. Next is Party with the Animals, originally released on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer soundtrack and also on the Mom I'm Coming Home single. It is the same lineup, written by Ozzy, Zach, and Randy Castillo. Same people. Bob Daisley plays bass on this. Produced by Dwayne Barron and John Purdell. And talk about energy. I believe this is maybe Ozzy's most energetic song of his whole entire career.
It's the biggest rocker possibly, right? Just flat out rock and roll song.
It's heavier than that to me.
But it's, yeah,
You know,
it's
to me,
definitely
rock and
heavier
roll song, yeah, it's definitely heavier. It rocks. It just
from
to
the
me,
get-go.
From the get-go, this sounds like it could have been on No Rest for the Wicked, and I don't say that about a lot of the songs on No More Tears.
Well, you know, years back when you and I first met, probably, I mean, I hate to say this, it's been 15 years or something now. I thought it was a demo from No Rest for the Wicked. The
Yeah.
tone of Zach's guitar and the style of riff that he wrote for this, I thought it was a No Rest for the Wicked B-side, not a No More Tears,
Yeah.
because it sounds more like that era to me. This is a song that earlier on, I always enjoyed it, but I got to say my man Dan has really brought me onto this one more. It's a great fucking song. I mean,
It is awesome.
Party with the Animals is a fucking jam, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, the album was originally called No Dogs Allowed, which is a lyric from this. So
From the song,
they
yeah.
thought so highly of it that they were this was going to be the title track, and then it changed to Say Hello to Heaven, and then it changed to No More Tears.
Yeah.
But I think this song slays. You go ahead. I don't mean to cut you.
No, please go. I agree with you totally. It's got the energy, it's got the vibe, it's got the riff, it's got the guitar solo, it's got Ozzy wailing. I mean, it's got it all. It's got it all.
How about
And
Randy Castillo?
Castillo's
singing the song?
love Randy Castillo.
Oh, this could be his best song
Yeah.
of his career. Dude, that breakdown, it is the drums sound like thunder during that breakdown. You know? Oh, yeah.
He's
It's
an Indian
incredible.
man. He's playing those fucking tribal beats and shit. And
Yeah,
you
I
know.
absolutely adore this song. Matter of fact, I easily could replace just about every song on No More Tears, except maybe one or two, and put this on the record.
Yeah.
That's how much I love this song. I think it should have started the record. Like, instead of the whole Mr. Tinker Train for 30 seconds, which I always skip, that do-do-do-do-do-do, you know, it just, you know. And I love Mr. Tinker Train, of course, but imagine No More Tears starting with this fucking song, right?
right out of the
It'd have
fucking
been
gate, right?
Holy
You're like,
shit! This is like over the mountain esque.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. Caliber song starting a record. I just think it would have been fantastic.
really, if you bleed, think about that. If you go straight from this track into No More Tears,
Yeah. What
body
year was
with
track
the
into I Don't Want to Change the World?
then right back to the melody of that. That would be pretty slick. I would definitely
does this
replace
make-
AVH with it. I would definitely replace
Hellraiser.
Zombie Stomp with it. Hellraiser, yeah. I would put it over those three with no question. So, yeah.
Yeah. I would put it over even more.
It's a great
personally,
song. And thank you for bringing me more onto it. I've always loved it. It's not that I didn't like this track, but at some point, Dan was like, dude, Party with the Animals fucking slays. Like, what the fuck? Because I was like, yeah, it's good. And he's like, nah. And it's just over time I've listened to it closer. And it's like, that is a great track.
It really is. I'm glad I turned you more onto it, my friend. All right, up next is the Osmosis era. Now, this is the hardest era to go over because, we talked about this a lot on our pod. Ozzy was so creative and just so all over the map during this era that we don't even know some of the lineups on some of these songs. So we're going to do our best hunches and go through them. The first one we do know, and that is Whole World's Falling Down, which was the Japanese B-side for Osmosis, which I'm sure you have, just like I have. And this was written by Ozzy, Tommy Shaw, and Jack Blades. His first of 3 songs that he wrote with Jack Blades. And, did I just confuse you?
No. I was just breathing. I'm overweight. I'm overweight. Sometimes I got to take a deep breath.
So this song was actually tracked by Michael Beinhorn.
Beinhorn.
And,
Beinhorn.
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 I was Ace Ventura on that.
I do think I do know it's Beinhorn, but
Yeah, Michael Beinhorn.
whatever.
And it's got Geezer, Dean Castronovo, Zach. I'm sure Michael Beinhorn playing keyboards on it. It is an awesome, another great up-tempo track. What do you think, John?
Yeah, this song fucking slays also. Love the riff. Shout out to our man Kyle Castronovo, by the way, who's Dean's son. He's always reaching out to us on social media and just saying hello and sending pictures and this and that. He's the best. Kyle, appreciate you. Yeah, Whole World's Falling Down fucking rules. Killer guitar riff again. The drums, it's heavy as fucking goat balls. The sky is crying and the whole world. And it's got that beat, doesn't it? That's what you're ready to tell me right now, isn't it? It's got this.
It's the second one that has that beat.
I'm not as crazy about it on this track either. But to me, that is the worst part of the song. Like it's like for this song, to me,
not everything could be halftime.
I know.
Not everything. Not every song could be halftime.
For me,
What's
the
wrong with
catch of this
breakdown?
song is not the chorus; it's everything else. I love the riff. I love the melodies on the verses. The chorus is not the catch to me. And one line that Dan pointed out to me years ago, I gotta say it. God gave us breath, don't blow it all away. That still, ever since you pointed that line out to me, I'm like, God, that is so fucking cool, man. Like, what a cool line. Probably written by Geezer, I don't know, in that era.
No, it was written by Jack Blades.
Oh, well, yeah. Sean, yeah, I was going to discuss that.
Yeah.
How the hell, no disrespect, because they wrote some great shit with Ozzy, but how does Night Ranger and Styx figure into the writing process in this era, I wonder? I wonder where that came about at.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're both in. Was it Bad English? No, what was their band?
No, I
Damn
said
Yankees.
Night Ranger. Oh, well, yeah, they were in Damn Yankees together. Yeah.
They're best of friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Ozzy was just at that time writing with so many different people, and I think they're just known as being great songwriters.
And it could be that they had these songs that, who would sound cool on this? Ozzy. And then they reach out.
Yeah.
It could be something to that effect. Yeah, could be.
They're written for Ozzy. I think they got contacted and said, "Hey, Ozzy wants to write a song for you guys," and they came up with this person.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, it's a great song. I love the song.
Yeah,
It totally fits the vibe of the album.
Oh, for sure. I don't think it fits the vibe of the album. I disagree with you. I do not think this album. There is one part of the song I am not crazy about. And
The
that
chorus,
is-
I know. We just discussed that.
No, it's the end of the bridge. The oh no. I just don't like his voice in that part
Yeah.
of the song for some reason. He's got a couple of those things in Thunder Underground as well, where it's just almost too screechy for me.
Well,
But other than that, the song is really, really solid. Great solo.
when I say it fits the tone of the album, that's kind of where my mind goes. Thunder Underground, this track, My Jekyll Doesn't Hide. I think there's a vibe with those tracks that are similar. The vibe of the album, I guess, really is more of a I Just Want You vibe, kind of that flangy.
Yeah, I think this is
thing,
up tempo. It almost sounds Thunder Underground and My Jekyll Doesn't Hide are both kind of more sluggy, Sabbathy chuggers.
They are. My Jekyll Doesn't Hide is one of the more underrated riffs, though. That's a fucking cool riff.
It is great.
Nah,
and I think his
cool
vocal melody is very technical and sexy for some reason on that song. Does Whole World Falling Down make the record?
Let me glance over real quick, because we're doing this on the fly, y'all. We ain't messing around. I would put it on over My Little Man. You knew I was going to go there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I
would
know.
Put this on over Thunder Underground. I'm not going to replace a mellow with a heavy on this one, so I'll stay heavy to heavy. And I do think it's a little better than Thunder Underground. Yeah, I like it.
I can give you that.
Ozzy's melodies are better. Zach's guitar solo, it slays. I almost think this is the first guitar solo that Zach wrote that was the guitar solo for the rest of his career.
I was going to say it was leaning towards the future a little bit.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
When I heard it, I was like, holy shit. And now it's like every guitar solo kind of reminds me of the whole world's fault.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, I'm saying I'm a lot today, guys. I apologize. All right, up next is the beautiful Amy. This also has two versions. The original version, basically they sound almost identical. There's two things you can kind of tell about the differences in the two versions. One, the drums sound cleaner on one of them, which is the version that's out now. They seem to have shelved the original. And then the original version has Amy saying, I'll always be your little angel, right? I'll always be your angel. And that is the version that I originally heard, that everybody originally heard. But now, for some reason, on the streaming, they've changed it out and put a different version in. Ozzy and Zach sound almost identical. Like, they're different takes, for sure. But Ozzy just nailed the melodies both times. This song is haunting, beautiful, means the world to me and my wife. We were going through a heavy time, not with each other, just in our life. And this song came out, and we just both really gravitated towards it. And it meant a lot to us. We had a miscarriage. And for some reason, this song just, really, really bonded us for some reason. I think it's just the melancholy in Ozzy's voice singing about, wishing he could have been a better father. And I don't know, this song really moves me, man. I absolutely love this song. The other version, the version we listen to, we think is produced by Michael Wagner. And we think the version that's now, which has the better drums, was probably produced by Dwayne Barron and John Purdell. Because, they both were recorded in 92.
Even though it's not labeled that way online. So if you go on your iTunes or something and look, just to be clear, we realize it says on iTunes Michael Wagner. It's,
Yeah, not the same version.
Yeah. Ozzy's melodies, man. Oh, God, they're so fucking
This song can bring me
good.
to tears every time I listen to it.
So when you mentioned earlier that Ozzy and a piano, this is more what you have in mind than the lyre.
Oh, yeah. This is Old LA Tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This shit's all over the lyre. They're
Yes.
not even in the same atmosphere.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I should have said it, written just by Ozzy and Zach.
Okay. Oh, yeah, great. Great call. Beautiful melodies, man. Again, the piano works beautiful. This song is a really good track. It's shocking he didn't find a way to put it on the album, just because of the meaning. And let's be honest, Ozzy favors those he writes the lyrics to. Mm-hmm. He always kind of leans on those.
I think it didn't make the record because I think Michael Beinhorn basically felt like... Well, they didn't even record it for the record.
No, yeah, they never redid this one, yeah.
We found that out today. This was not even recorded during the Osmosis session. I think Michael Beinhorn basically said, that sounds too much like Old LA Tonight, pick one. And they picked Old LA.
I could see that. And I would pick Old LA Tonight, to be honest, of the two.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
the standout moment for me, as good as Ozzy sounds, I fucking love Zach's guitar solo on this, man. Love it. And I love how it revs up. And then this bit, that's the kind of shit as a guitar player that I just wank off on. Like, I love that. That was so genius.
So much.
Oh man. Like, it sounds like Dan hates Zach. Let's get this hashtag Dan hates Zach going. I'm joking.
No, it is not true.
I know.
He doesn't play like that.
everyone knows it. I mean, we love Zach. There's a Zach from that era was just it was more thoughtful. He put a little more time and thought. Whereas now he just pumps. He's so good now. He's almost too good. He just pumps it out.
Yeah.
But his guitar solo on this track is so fucking good, man. It is so good. And then I love the gonna be my angel in the night. It's just so fucking haunting. Again, Dan uses that a lot, and I totally agree. Ozzy's melodies and ballads have such a haunting tone sometimes that it's just they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite B tracks for sure. I think the lyrics are very personal to Ozzy. The emotion, the way he sings it, nobody sings like Ozzy. He sounds vulnerable. He sounds haunting. That melody is my favorite part of the song. Even the bridge is fantastic. I just think this song is gorgeous. I still prefer the version, even though they're almost identical, but I do prefer the original version that Michael Wagner recorded.
Yeah, they're hard.
We don't know who played on these tracks. That's on either version. I don't know. Do we know? I think it's Michael Inez and
There's a chance it's Michael Inez, as I wasn't ready to say.
and Randy Castillo on both versions.
That's
Yeah,
that.
'cause
I
it was
always,
recorded in '92.
we learn things later on. I always grew up believing those were Mike Inez and Randy Castillo.
Me too.
So,
But not all the B-sides. Obviously, Geezer and Dean are on Whole World's Falling Down. This next track, I definitely think it's Michael Inez and Randy Castillo. And that is Living with the Enemy. This was on the Perry Mason single, recorded in 1992. And this one was produced by Duane Barron and John Purdell. So Ozzy recorded 2 records in '92, or sessions, a Michael Wagner session and a Duane Barron and John Purdell session. They tried to get right back on the magic of No More Tears because it was such a phenomenal success that they put him back in the studio with Duane Barron and John Purdell. And I think they recorded 7 songs, I read, and then they scrapped the whole record.
well, I mean, they did that with Diary and Blizzard, right? The same theory. Like, hey, let's strike while the iron's hot on this. There's a magic here, yeah. Please go.
This is written. We think it's probably written by Ozzy, Zach, and Randy. It's got a very Southern vibe. I think this is actually one of Zach's most Southern style songs. I think the production's great. I think it is catchy as shit. Hey, baby. Great chorus, right? This is also very mellow, a straight rock song. I think great guitar work by Zach. I am not a huge fan of the song. I think it's solid. Would I put it over My Little Man? I'm going to say no. I don't think. This one has the vibe to me as a B-side. There's just something a little bit missing. What do you think?
Dildo. You just said it. It's got the B-side vibe to it. It sounds like a poor man's I Just Want You a little bit with the riffage. It just kind of lays there. It doesn't do a whole, like you said, it's not bad. It's just not great either. It kind of is sterile. It lays there. Nothing overly memorable about it. It's kind of a tame track that doesn't really do anything. It's fine. If it's on, I don't have to go change the track or anything, but it's just,
No. It's not The Liar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way better than that.
Yeah.
But
it's just,
it's solid.
Yeah, it's fine. As Dan said, it's fine. Yeah.
Do you think now? And I should have mentioned this during Amy. Was there something in the back of my mind? I mentioned to you today, and you didn't get to respond. That Amy and See You on the Other Side was originally meant for Live and Loud.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think the version we hear now was probably the version meant for Live and Loud.
Yes.
Of Amy.
And I think the demo version of See You on the Other Side would have been that version also with the saxophone.
Yeah. Yep.
And again, probably Mike Inez on bass, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So
no, I think that's Terry Nails.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're right. Good call.
Yeah, it's
and Terry could be on these other tracks. Who really knows?
Yeah, it could be Terry.
Yeah.
But 92 seems still Mike. Excuse me. All right, up next we have Voodoo Dancer, the See You on the Other Side single, written by Ozzy, Tommy Shaw, and Jack Blades. This was a demo recorded in December of '94. No idea who the drummer is on this track. It could be a drum machine for all I know, but obviously Jack Blades and Tommy Shaw played bass and guitar on this track. Great guitar solo by Tommy Shaw.
Yeah.
I do not hear Zach on this at all. What about you?
I've never really thought about it not being Zach, to be honest. I'm gonna have to listen a little closer now and adjust my thought on that. Either way, I love this fucking song. Like
Still though.
I will go ahead and tell you this is my favorite of the B-sides for Osmosis. This song fucking rips ass in my opinion. I just love this song, and it grows more throughout time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first heard it, I'm like, that's a cool track. Then like a few years later, it's like, oh man, that track's fucking awesome. Then a few years later, it's like, man, I love this track. Now I'm like, hell, it's probably better than half the songs on Osmosis. Like I love this fucking song. I don't know why. With time, it grows more and more and more. Everything Ozzy does on it, his melodies, his delivery, his performance, it's all so fucking good. I just like this track, man. I just do. I don't even know why I like so much about it, but I like it. I sound like Jack Black right now. I don't know what it is, but I like it, and I love this track, man. It's high on the list for me for today.
I fucking love this track. To
Okay.
me, this has got Beatles written all over it. Like, way more than anything off of Ozzy Land to me. This has got more of a Beatles vibe. Even maybe Dream for Tomorrow is close, but to me, this is even more Beatles. He's got the Mellotron going on, if you could hear it behind those guitars. This screams the Beatles, and Ozzy's melodies and voice. And I'm going to tell you another thing that really makes this song stand out. Ozzy's harmonies. I mean, this is the best song, and this is a demo, guys. Pre-Pro Tools, pre-Auto-Tune, pre-anything. The next time you listen to this, put it on headphones and listen to Ozzy's backing melodies. They are unlike any... I mean, we're talking Spiral Architect type melodies, because you know how he gets really high on that? That's how good the melodies are in the song. This song is one of my favorite B-sides as well, Josh. It's way up there.
It's so good.
And I would absolutely replace My Little Man, Thunder Underground. There's a ton of songs I'd replace off of this record. But Voodoo Dancer definitely would make my Osmosis. And it's a demo version. I think Ozzy liked this song so much, he released a demo version of it. There is no other version of this song. They did not record this for the Osmosis songs, written in December of 94. How is this song not, like, everywhere? That's how good Voodoo Dancer is. Dude,
And he's, like you said a minute, he's so fucking high on that. It's like, fuck,
Oh, my
shit.
God. That backing vocal?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's just so fucking good, man. It's just such a good track. So Dan and I have been debating for the past 3 days. We've not seen each other's lists, and we're convinced this might be the one where we differ. But the more we talk, I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe not. But
I
yeah,
know our order is going to differ for sure.
this is such a great track, man. I fucking love this song. This is a song I couldn't wait to talk about on here a little bit, just to kind of get your reaction and maybe fan reaction to such an
you weren't gonna
underrated
like it.
track. Oh, I love this song.
And then I re-listened to our Osmosis episode, and you were bragging about it then, and I thought,
Okay.
oh, he's gonna like it.
Okay, yeah,
so
and I like it more now than I did then, because like I said, it grows with time, more and more and more.
It's
like,
amazing. That song could be released today as a brand new single, right? And
Yeah.
it wouldn't sound dated at all.
no,
No. Yeah. I think
Agreed,
when
Tim.
Ozzy's at his worst is when he is trying to stick to a time period. I know people think Osmosis is that, but I don't. I know the production is, but not the songwriting, right? Is not. There's solos all over Osmosis. I think Ultimate Sin is a time of its, even though I love the record, it is a time of its time period, and Scream more so is. Even though there's solos all over it, the riffs are very new metal. And I
Yeah.
think that's when Ozzy's trying too hard to fit into the time frame is when he struggles the most. When he just writes songs like this, it's fucking unbelievable, man.
unbelievable. Love the song.
All right, up next we have Down to Earth. A song I've been working on. titled Down-
on, titled "Down to Earth."
So the first one we're going to talk about is No Place for Angels, written by Ozzy, Tim Palmer, and Jeff Nichols. It was on the Gets Me Through single. It is a B-side. I believe does not have Zach on this one either. I think this is all Tim Palmer playing guitar, with Jeff Nichols probably playing bass. And I think it's a drum machine. 100% it sounds like a drum
I
machine.
agree.
What do you think of this track?
You know, I would be cool with this track other than that fucking breakdown we were just joking about. The title of a song I've been working on is called, what the fuck is that? Why is that in that song, man? Because honestly,
Zach is not there, and I bet you they were going to just have Zach solo over that part.
Then get Zach the solo on it before you do the damn B-side.
Yeah.
Just, I think the riff is cool enough. I think the melody is cool enough.
What a headbanger.
It's not a like over the. Would I necessarily replace any song on the album with it? No, I'm going to say I wouldn't. But it's really close to being a cool track. And when you actually get to the melody, the verses, and then the chorus, you're like, okay. The breakdown is cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Then it gets to Ozzy doing the little speakover part, which I'm sure they just took from a fucking interview part or something. Totally demoed. Okay, you can educate us in a second. Okay. I don't like that. I hate that that's in there. I hate that that's it totally blows the whole song for me that's in there.
Man, the bridge is... There's something about Down to Earth's bridges that are just fucking incredible. And this follows suit, right? Mm-hmm. You might think that I'm just a crazy... That part is so awesome.
The whole song. Yeah.
It is really, really good. I think it's a headbanger. I would... before we get to it, I'm just going to say I would replace Black Illusion with it in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. I'm sticking with Black Illusion, but yeah, I'm going to stick with Black Illusion. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan.
I forgot your disdain for that track.
No Place for Angels is catchy. He doesn't sound great, but he sounds cool. You know, you can tell it's a demo track. I think if this was recorded in the actual sessions, this song would have been lights out, 100%.
I will agree.
That was so the part you hate was a voicemail he left Tim, and Tim stuck it on the record.
Okay.
Isn't that cool? So that's cool. Actually a voicemail that Ozzy left Tim. So really, the question is, what song is Down to Earth? That's what I want to fucking know, because Ozzy's been working on a song titled Down to Earth, and it became the title of the record. So put two and two together. Is there a song called Down to Earth somewhere out there?
Very likely. And if ever Tim would fulfill his promise and come on our show and discuss this, he's been telling us for 4 damn years he would come on here and discuss it. We might find out. I do think at some point it'll happen.
Me too.
I'm like you. If they had re-recorded it, yes, it would slay. The potential's there. I mean, all the parts are there.
I'm going off potential. Obviously, I wouldn't want it on the record with the drum machine. You know what I mean? I'm talking about if this track was fully formed, could it be? Because Voodoo Dancer isn't going to go on the record with those drums either. You know, they would have to re-record this.
Oddly though, and it is a drum machine, I agree. But that opening feel, that's very Mike Borden. that sounds like something he would do. Like for sure.
Place for Angel.
Yeah. Like even though it's a drum machine, it's definitely Borden-esque as far as something he would do.
I always bang my head every time that riff comes on.
Yeah,
I think it's solid.
And again, the breakdown riff, fucking mean as hell. I love that.
It is. Yeah, great job by Tim and Jeff. Right.
All the parts are there. Could have been awesome.
All right, up next we have Black Skies, which I was hesitant to include because Black Skies was originally for a video game that got canceled. I'm sure everybody, well, maybe not, but that was the original plan of that song. And there's 2 versions of this one, so this is the 3rd track we're going to discuss today that is 2 versions. I listened to both today in preparation, the Zakk Wylde version and the Neil Sean, right?
Mm-hmm. Sean
version from Journey. This is another track that Josh is going to hate the drums. I'm just giving everybody a forewarning. And 100%. I know you're not a big fan of the song. So before we get started, which version do you like better? Because I think, again, one is way better.
Zakk's. I like Zakk's, for sure.
Zakk's version is way better. Oh, this was written by Ozzy, Jack Blades, and Neil Sean. So Tommy Shaw did not write this. I didn't realize Neil Sean had a writing credit on this.
Yeah.
I know he played on it, but I didn't realize he wrote it.
Yeah.
I think the riff is heavy. I like it. It's being, again, even though it's a heavy track, Ozzy's vocals are very beatly. They try to put him, I think it's the same vocal track, actually. Shockingly.
I think so.
If you listen to both, they're just affected differently.
I agree.
Right? They're affected completely different, but I do think it's the same vocal track.
I agree.
So what do you like better about the Zakk version, Zach?
I just like Zakk's leads that he puts on it better. I think it's a little heavier. Obviously, it's Zakk. It's got the tone that we want.
I don't think Zakk is playing rhythm. It sounds exactly the same to me.
You think he's doing the same rhythm with this Zakk's leads? Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except the chorus. The chorus is a big difference in the song. And I got to A-B it again. Zakk's is way more exciting. And I don't know what he's doing. Black skies, dun, 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 where, so that's got to be Zach. But if you listen to the Neil Schon version, it's very boring what he's doing behind the
Yeah.
chorus.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on there. It's a cool, it's a decent riff. You know, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a chuggy, it's a cool riff. It would have been an awesome Black Label Society riff in 2000, but
And he didn't even write it. It does
you know,
kind of.
I know. Yeah, that's just what I'm saying, though. Yeah, it's fine. It goes back to that chorus. Black skies.
Josh hates straight time, folks. I love the chorus, man. I think it's awesome.
Nuts. I do like the outro, Black Skies, when it slows down. I'm like, okay, that's the coolest part of the song. Cool. Yeah.
I wish Ozzy's voice wasn't as affected. Sometimes he gets too affected,
especially in this era.
Yeah, it's just too much. And I love the vocal melodies of the verses, actually. You know, I think they're really, really cool because it's such a heavy riff, and his verse is so melodic and beatly, and it's a great dichotomy, and I think it just works really, really good together. But at the end of the day, I just don't like all the effects on his voice. And I think the chorus is kind of fun. Black skies. So I think this song was supposed to be a single when the video came out. The video game, sorry. And when the video game got scrapped, it just went into
Chris Gaines territory. You country people know what I'm talking about. Do you know who Chris Gaines is?
Yes. Garth Brooks' alter ego.
Yeah. For a movie that never got released, right? That was the whole point. Was there's going to be a movie, then they never released the movie and made Garth look like an idiot, right?
So would you replace any song off of Down to Earth with Black Skies?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I had a feeling you like No Place for Angels a little better. I think I like it better than Black Illusion.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Not you,
with
huh?
Fingers crossed, I switch the perfume with the mace. Yeah, I'm sticking with Black Illusion.
Yeah, you are. All right, we got just 2 albums left, and that is, first up, Black Rain. I can't wait to do a deep dive on Black Rain, to be perfectly honest. I think that should be, one of our closer episodes. I think this album has really, really grown well over time. Like, I think this album aged incredibly well, because this used to be ranked my least liked record, and it is slowly moving up the charts. Like,
I agree.
The Dan charts, and I just love this record.
The Diary of the Madman charts, because I agree with you 100%. You know, we've discussed this. I mean, it's not out of time to say it. We both used to put Scream over it, and as time's worn on, we think it's way better than Scream.
Way better.
So it's funny how it's done that. And Kevin Cherico is one that's also been dangled to come on the show at some point. We've been told at some point, our man Kane Cherico, who listens to the show, Kane, talk to Dad again. It's time to bring him on the show. We were told we're going to do this,
Bring Kevin and Kane on. They put it together.
Absolutely. Well, Kane engineered and helped co-write.
Yeah.
So, so many questions for those guys on that. But
let's go. So as good as Black Rain is, I'm getting to it. The B-sides are even better. I mean, this is the album, Josh, that I pull my hair out, and this is why I'm going bald, because how are all 3 of these songs, quite frankly, not on Black Rain? You put these 3 songs on Black Rain, I am thinking we're talking about Ozzy's right up there with Patient Number 9 is his best 21st century record.
Yeah.
That's how good these B-sides are.
Agree totally. And the knock, not just from Ozzy, from metal fans in general, was this album's too sluggish. It's slow. Yeah. It's in mud. All 3 of these songs are fucking rockers. Yeah. Yes. It's like, put the rockers on there, and all of a sudden you wouldn't be so sluggish.
The first one is Nightmare. Let's just talk about Nightmare. We've talked about Nightmare on the show before, and all 3 songs, so I don't have to repeat myself, were recorded during Black Rain, so it's got the Black Rain lineup of Ozzy, Geezer, Mike Borden, and is it Blasco, right?
It's Blasco, yeah. I was going to let you finish up.
So Nightmare is phenomenal. All songs are written by Ozzy, Kevin Cherico, and Zach. And I think Nightmare is the best song from the Black Rain sessions, bar none. Like, it is the best song of Ozzy's 21st century albums. I think like it still could be my favorite song from the whole. As much as I love Patient Number 9, I fucking love Nightmare. It is so catchy. It's got the creepy piano part on the intro and outro. It's got that great riff. The Ozzy sounds incredible, and the melodies are catchy. It is a hook infested. Not only should have this been on the record, it should have been track 1. It should have led the record off, and it should have been the first single. I think if this would have been the first single, people would have been like, holy shit, Ozzy and Zach are back. What do you think?
I agree with everything except for I don't think it's better than necessarily Patient Number 9 and some of those. But as far as like the session goes, it's probably my favorite song of the sessions. I agree with you 100%. Lead track on the album, I agree with that. Lead single, I agree with that. Think about it. That little creepy intro on the piano you were talking about, that's so similar in a different way to Mr. Tinker Train. So it kind of could have followed that vein of that vibe and then go from that into I Don't Want to Stop. And that's smoking to start that record.
Yeah.
A lot of energy.
I agree.
I'm not a big, I don't know if I've ever, I may have never even told you this. I hate to say it. Hate to be that guy. Okay, I'm never really that negative, but I'm going to be negative right now. I'm not overly big on Mike Borden. I think he's okay.
Oh,
He's fine.
I love him.
In the world of Aussie drummers, like I would take Tommy Clefaitis 3-1 over Mike Borden. That's
Not
just
me.
me. I would.
But I'm a huge Faith No More guy.
And I don't know why with Mike. I don't not.
I love that double kick break in this song.
Well,
It's
that's
so
what I was getting ready to get to. Damn it, you beat me.
Yeah.
That said, his moment going to the second chorus when he does the fucking double beat, the double bass kick, that fucking feel is fucking awesome. I'm running fast, but dude, that is Mike Borden's glaring moment in Aussiedom in my world. I love his fucking drums on that. It's a great song.
I'm gonna just say I think the chorus of the song is one of Ozzy's best of his career. I mean, over any era, Randy era included. That's how fucking great the chorus is on this song. The I'm running fast but going nowhere. I see the light but I never get there. It's so catchy, dude, and I don't know what they were thinking. I can't believe this didn't make the record.
We want
Who made
Kevin
that
on
decision?
just to say who made the decision not to put this track on the album. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a flat out
It
fucking
had to be.
mistake.
It was a major fucking mistake to delete all 3 of these.
I'm just gonna say it. You got Trapdoor on that motherfucker and don't put this song on there. I'm sorry, that is bullshit. Like someone needs to be called out for that. That is criminal.
So Nightmare I'd put over, every song on the record. It makes the record.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I'm not gonna say over every song. Probably yeah. Honestly, yeah.
You just said you thought it was the best.
Yeah, it is.
song from
It
the
is the best song from the sessions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not including, the ballads, of course. Best rock, because they're just different.
It's a great song, man.
yeah.
We got to get to the bottom of this one day. That's got to be the mission of this show is to get to the bottom of those 3 tracks, especially Nightmare.
Yeah. All right, up next we have I Can't Save You, which I also think is right up there with Nightmare, which could possibly be my second favorite song from the sessions. It has great riffs, it has a great melody, and this song just reminds me of like a party with the animals. It fucking rocks.
It
dude.
rocks.
It's so heavy, and I just love listening to this one. So what's your thoughts?
Agreed, totally. It fucking rocks, dude. It's got complete fucking energy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the thought process. I'm getting repetitive. I know it's got the energy. It's got the fucking enthusiasm. It's up tempo. Ozzy sounds great. It's a fucking great song. I don't understand the thought process of I'd rather have fucking 11 Silver on there, which is fine. This song fucking slays. It's not as good as Nightmare, but it's like Nightmare Part B. It's right behind it. I'm with you. Fucking love the song.
How about the riff behind the chorus? Your time is coming. I have been trying to figure out how he plays that. I got to figure out how he plays it. I love that riff, dude. Zach is on.
And then you drop down to a groove. Da 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 da. And he's just like into an awesome bridge. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking watch this. We're like we look like Ozzy. I'm back to the beginning, trying to get
But
get
this
up.
should have also been a single, dude. That's how
Agreed.
catchy this song is. And they're like 3 minutes. This song was meant to be a single. I don't know, dude. People would be looking at Black Rain so different if Nightmare and I Can't Save You were on this record. It drives me fucking crazy.
And I think
really
Love to
does.
Hate's right there too. I think Love to Hate's right there with them.
All right, let's go to it. Next,
Okay.
the other track is Love to Hate. So why don't you start that one?
Love to Hate should have been the album closer. Why do people love to hate? Album ends right there. It's fucking gorgeous. You got to think about shit like that when you're doing placement. That's perfect. Why do people love to hate? Same as every other track we were just talking about. Great energy, great enthusiasm, great melodies, heavy riff. It's- Who do we need to choke? This album got slayed publicly as the downfall. Like Oz, this is when it turned to shit. Well, a lot of people say down to earth, but it's like, but the material was right there on the fucking B-side. I don't understand who we got to fight over this. I cannot wait to talk to fucking Kevin Churchill one day about this. I cannot wait, and it's gonna happen.
Dude, Love to Hate is another up-tempo great track. Matter of fact, they play Love to Hate a lot on Ozzy's Boneyard, which is really cool because you know, hear a B-side on Ozzy's Boneyard is awesome. I mean, I think the lyrics are really, really good on this one, man. Another day and more bad news. I wonder who died today.
Wonder who died today.
What great. Yeah, that is, you know, I live on hope and legal dope. I'm like, oh my God, how like real is that for Ozzy at that period? I mean, he was so fucked up on legal dope during that time frame, you know. It took me a while to grow on the chorus. You know, there was just something about his step downs vocally that took me a while to get used to, but I love it now. I think it's not quite as good as the first two, Nightmare and I Can't Save You, but clearly better than half of the record. You know, and I think it should have been on the record because I think when we do the Black Rain record, deep dive, let's do a version of the record that it should have been each.
That'd be fun.
And what we would have really removed and keep it 10 songs and keep that flow of what we thought a flow would have been. Would that be fun?
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. But I'm with you. It's of the three. It's number 3. I agree with you on that.
Great.
But
Yeah.
it's still better than probably 6 songs on the fucking record.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the record's like Dan said, and in all sincerity, this album has grown. It's aged extremely well. I agree totally, man. You know,
and yeah.
No, please go ahead.
To me, and this is, I think, why you and I are so frustrated. I'm going to just really simplify this, okay, Josh? These are the most Ozzy-sounding tracks since No Rest for the Wicked. Those 3 songs. They just sound like Ozzy.
But they were also modern, in a good way modern.
Yeah.
Like they weren't,
In
you
a
know.
good way modern. But I'd say maybe since No More Tears, actually.
Yeah.
Not No Rest. But these just sound like Ozzy songs, right? Like that riff for, Love to Hate comes on and just like, yes, this sounds like a fucking Ozzy song. Nightmare comes on. Yep, this sounds like an Ozzy song. I mean, Zach got like that second win for this record that everybody's like, it's not that. I've said it. You know, Zach's writing wasn't great on Black Rain. But, dude, these 3 songs, it's Zach in his heyday to me, right?
Yeah. No, Zach slays on this. And let's just be honest. Not going away. It's a fine song. Second fucking single good? No. Nightmare would slay that track, dude. Like, it ain't even, if you put that and A-B that to a normal, anybody and say, which one do you like better? They're all going Nightmare. Like, all fucking day long. And
All day long.
that was the second single. Again, it was like Bad Decisions were just, I don't know. Was that when, I hate to go there. Was that when Sharon was like out with cancer more and maybe less involved with things maybe?
It was that tour.
Because it was after Down to Earth, so you're looking at around that time. Maybe she just wasn't as quality controlled as other, because normally she's on top of every damn thing, right? So maybe that was a period where she wasn't as.
I like Ozzy up tempo, and I'm not talking about ballads. I'm talking about the rock stuff. I like him up tempo because that's the first early stuff. You know, Over the Mountain, Bark at the Moon. You know, I'm not talking about his epics like Diary and Killer. That's a Killer Giants. That's a totally a revelation. Different style of song.
You're talking. I don't know.
Ozzy as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, super up tempo. I don't like Ozzy as much as when he is trying to be Black Sabbath as a solo artist, like Black Illusion. That's why I really shit on that track. If you're gonna do Black Sabbath, just go right with Black Sabbath because nobody does it better than them. I like Ozzy up tempo. That is the best way.
I agree. I agree.
All right, we're getting there, guys. Last album. Now we go to Kevin Churko's final record. And before we get to Scream, Ordinary Man and Patient Number 9 really don't have B-sides. Dark Side Blues was on Ordinary Man, but we decided not to cover it because it was released on Patient Number 9. So we just decided you know,
Not a
it's,
B-side anymore.
not a B-side. All right, so now we have Scream, and we have 3 songs off of Scream that were not released, and I believe all 3 of these were written by Ozzy and Kevin Churko. Maybe Adam Wakeman on some.
Good call.
I'll get into that. Yeah, Adam Wakeman did a ton of writing on this record. It is not going to say.
If you want to hear more about what Adam did on this record, pull up on YouTube there or your Spotify
exactly.
when Adam was on our show and discussed a lot of these tracks with us and really gave a lot of insight in that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Things
That
that
was a
we
great
didn't
episode.
know. That was I like to
He wrote a lot of
listen to
guitar
that.
riffs, which I thought
He
was
wrote
really
he
cool.
wrote the Digging Me Down riff. Remember
Yeah,
and we were
which
like,
was
dude, that's our
awesome.
favorite riff on the record. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, so the 3 bonus tracks are Hand of the Enemy, One More Time, and Jump the Moon. All 3 tracks, B-sides. Josh, I'm going to have you run a little bit first. I've been talking a lot this episode, but why don't you start with Hand of the Enemy?
well, you've been running a lot, but I do want to say I appreciate it. You kind of MC these, and I do know there's a lot of work that goes into it. I did research a little, but not like this guy does, and I do appreciate you getting together the songwriters and such. I know it takes time. So, I think all 3 of these are good tracks. I think they all sound as good as album tracks. You know, we talked a lot on this episode about how it sounds like a B-side. These don't sound like B-sides to me.
Nope. Recorded during the same Josh
Right,
is on all 3.
and they're all finished. I think is the difference, right? They're finished. They're not lacking something. They're all finished
Kevin
tracks.
Churko plays the drums, not Tommy Clufetis.
Yes, I hate
don't know if
that.
they both-
Yeah, I hate that everything's listed as Tommy. But that said, I really find which track are we starting with? Anyone in particular, or are we just gonna go all 3?
Let's start with Hand of the Enemy.
Okay. Hand of the Enemy, I just find it to be a little bit forgetful, and I don't say that a lot about Ozzy at all. But if I'm 100% honest, I will admit this to you and the listeners. I kind of had to go listen to it to remember which one it is. There's very, very few Ozzy tracks that I'm like that. This is probably one of only 2 or 3. But when I hear it, I'm like, which one is that again? And then I'll go to my phone, like, oh, yes, that one. And I do like the song. It's not that I don't even not like it. I just find it forgettable.
I think that's a great description, and I think they're slowing down and trying to be a little bit more Sabbathy with this one, right? Mm-hmm. Where the other 2, I think, are a lot more up-tempo. And this one is forgettable. It's just okay. Like, it's a fine song. You know, I don't know if I'd make the record, though.
No.
Honestly. I don't think this one would make the record for me.
No.
Honestly, I really don't. Is it better than I Want It More? I don't think so.
I don't think so
like
either.
I Want It More a bit more.
I Want It More is also the one that I lean to when I go. It's like, to me, I Want It More, and these tracks are right there in the same realm.
Yeah. Even
And
though the riff on I Want It More slays.
yeah. But yeah, it's just fine.
Yeah, I agree. Up next is One More Time.
Exact same thoughts on this one. I have. It's one of those few songs I can't. I have to play it for a second to know which one it is. I don't know why, but once I hear it, I know I can sing you every word. I could hum every riff. It takes me a second. It's forgettable for me. And that said, like I said for the last track, I still like it. It's not any worse than a lot of the other tracks. I just find it forgettable. I don't mean to be so vague on these, but I can't remember exactly what they sound like.
I really love the chorus on this one. You know, and
Sing
the
it to me real
chorus-
quick.
I can't sing, unfortunately. I know this won't ever be easy. You know, and he goes, I don't give up, so won't you get me? Give me some more.
Okay. Yeah. See, I can't even remember exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
Need it
One more time. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one much better than Hand of the Enemy, actually.
It's better than
I
Hand of
think
the
that-
Enemy.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of fun. And then he's got a cool bridge, that Take Away My Pain, Take Away My Name part. Give me one more.
I agree.
And then that solo. You know, I actually think this one would make the record for me.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to surprise some listeners. I kind of like this one. You know, it's one of those songs that is forgettable, but every time I put it on, I'm like, you know, this is pretty good. I like it better than some of the songs on screen. I think it's a good classic up-tempo Ozzy song.
And I want to mention too, because I'm hearing it in my head right now. Because now that we've sung through the chorus and the bridge, I'm hearing Gus's solo in my head. I want to say this
amazing.
again. Gus's guitar tone on his solos. I told Dan the other night. I said his guitar tone on these solos is as good as anyone's guitar tone on any Ozzy record. He's got such a gorgeous fucking sound. His leads
Agreed.
they soar. They just soar. He sounds amazing.
He is such a great record. I still, in my heart, believe it's one of the biggest misses of Ozzy's career, not writing a record with Gus. I do. Fucked up. All right, the last song we're going to discuss is the very controversial Jump the Moon. I am dying to hear what you think about this one, Josh. All right, do you know how this one goes?
Yes. Jump the
Okay,
Moon is
that's
very
fine.
memorable. Okay.
All right, what do you think of Jump the Moon?
Jump the Moon is a song that when I first heard it, I thought was cheesy and corny as all damn hell. Over time, that song has grown on me and grown on me and grown on me. And I love this fucking track. And I would put it on the record. I would 100% put it on. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just,
he uses a lot of effects on his vocals on this song, but it doesn't bother me on this one.
I would put it on in place if I want it more. I'll tell you what I love about it though. You know, one thing about me as I get older, and Dan, you may can relate to this. Let me know if this is just an age thing, because you know you are a little bit older than me, but not crazy. But I'm getting to where I just appreciate having fun. It ain't got to be thought provoking. It ain't got to be fucking right. It's like the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out on Netflix. You know, a lot of horror fans shit on it. I'm like, man, it's got great kills, decent little story. It's a fun movie. I enjoy it. Fuck it. It's fun. It ain't got to be so fucking thought provoking. That's kind of how I feel about Jump the Moon. I've come to realize just what a fun little track that is. Is it a single? No. Is it? No, it's none of that. But it's just a fun track. Tonight's the night I'm gonna jump them, and it's just. I just feel like they're in the room just fucking just getting it, you know, on the down pick. I like it. I like this song, and it's grown on me a lot. And a part of that is Dan and Ryan kind of harping on me, because before I didn't like this one, and I just found it cheesy. I got over that and just realized kind of what a fun jam. It's a jam. It's a good way of putting it. It's a jam.
So I'm so glad we have such a similar story. The first time I heard this song, I was like, what the fuck did I just listen to?
It sounded B-side at first, right? It sounded B-side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The B-side, I was like, what is Ozzy doing here? This doesn't even sound like, what the fuck is this? But over time, it is clearly the best B-side from Scream. It's not even close. It is energetic. It is fun. It should definitely be on the record. It's better than Fearless. It's better than I Want It More. It might even be better than Crucify. It could be better than a lot of songs on this record. And definitely better than Let It Die. You know, I don't like that song very well. But I just think it's, you know, that chorus, like you said, is unforgettable. Tonight the night is gonna jump the moon.
That's so good.
Right? It's so good. Great. I love Guts' solo choice in this, because he's kind of playing that dual string, kind of almost rhythmic solo, right? And I think it fits the song great. I love the bridge, you know, whoa, he's flying high with the silver spoon. Whoa, he's here to try to jump the moon. I just think this track is so energetic, and it's a shot in the ass that Scream needed and just does not have. And again, I don't know why the song was left off the record. I think it's awesome. I'm so glad I thought I was going to be the controversial one here, because I love this fucking song. It's so awesome.
It's grown on me literally probably in the last 2 years. Like, I've really just found a respect. Yeah, it happens sometimes. You will hear something and then all of a sudden one day it just kind of clicks. And that happened with me with this track about 2 years ago. And I was like, man, that's a great fucking song. Like,
it's a great song.
You know.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I consider it a metal song, right?
No, it's just a rocker.
No, it's just a great rocker, which Ozzy's at his best when he rocks. You know, it's pretty incredible. You know, it's pretty funny. So we went over 6 songs over Black Rain and Scream, and I think those are the 2 Ozzy albums that get shit on the most. And 5 out of the 6, I think, for me, would have made the record, and 4 out of the 6 for you.
So think about
that. It goes
that.
to show you, you know, they really were not paying attention during that time frame. And I don't know why some of these songs did. I think you put these 6 songs together, it would rival Scream. It would be better than Scream, those 6 songs. You know, Nightmare, I Can't Save You, Jump the Moon. I mean, that would be a great record.
No question.
I don't know what you were thinking. Yeah. It'd probably be better than Black Rain.
Yeah.
All right. So now we get to do the fun part, guys. I knew we were going to go long today. We're going to do our rankings. We don't really have to talk too much about the songs. We're just going to blast through them. And We're gonna start with you, Zach. What is Zach? I love
Zach, I wish.
Hey. First
Dude.
to you, Josh. What is
Right.
your number 10?
My number 10 is Jump the Moon. It made the cut. It made
It
the
made
list.
the cut. That's awesome. So I really had a problem with number 10. My first 9 are in stone, but that number 10 could have went to 3 or 4 different songs. Jump the Moon was one of them. I actually went Love to Hate.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 9 is
Number
Love to
9.
Hate.
Hey, it made it.
So
Awesome.
we've debated all day how similar our
Yeah.
lists would be, and here we go. They're starting off, Dan. A little close.
My number 9 is Spiders.
It's low.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just how
that's
much
low
I
for
love
you.
these songs.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 8 is I Can't Save You.
Nope. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your number 9 was Love to Hate. Yeah.
Yep.
Your 8 was I Can't Save You.
Yes.
My 8 is I Can't Save You. Damn it.
Okay. Number 7 for me is Amy.
Okay. My number 7 is now 6 and 7 can change any day, but right now is Voodoo Dancer.
Okay. I like it. Number 6 for me is Party with the Animals. No Dogs Allowed.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, that song has really done a turnaround on me.
Yeah, it has.
I love it.
It's a great song.
My number 6 is Amy.
Okay. We're
very
we're
close.
on similar par. Number 5, I have Voodoo Dancer.
Okay, so right there. My number 5 is Nightmare.
I thought that might be number like 3. Okay. This shocks me a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard. My top 4 are
Dude,
so
they're all
good,
like
man.
right there, man. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Spiders.
Okay, really high.
I like that
So I know
song.
your top 3. My number 4 is You Said It All. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're shocking me a little bit there. Okay. Number
Yeah.
3 for me is Nightmare. But again,
Okay,
you're
awesome.
talking about a track in the post Ozzy, supposed to be his heyday moment. That was
Yeah.
a beast. I mean, it's right there with the Randy Rhoads shit.
It is 100%. I could easily put it above You Said It All.
You know.
My number 3 is Party with the Animals.
Okay.
You know that was going to be high.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 2 for me is You Said It All.
Okay. You ready? Are you sitting down? My number 2 is You Looking at Me, Looking at You.
Oh, my number 1, of
Yeah.
course, is You Looking at Me, Looking at
Yeah.
You. So let's see what in Dan's world, the number 1 Aussie B-side is.
Hero. No question.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking love Hero, man.
So I had my top 10 made already, and then when we decided to add, because I did not include Hero initially,
Yeah.
and then when we got to add it, and I was like, fuck, it's got to go in there somewhere. And then I was like, well, I really Jump the Moon. I might like it. And then I was like, nah, Jump the Moon's awful fun. I just couldn't squeeze it in anywhere, so I was like, I'm just leaving it as I had it, and that's fine. Wow.
This is funny. So my number 10 was at different times today. Whole World's Falling Down. One up the B-side. And then Love to Hate. And I stuck with Love to Hate. And I just kept changing them in and out. Oh, Jump the Moon. Did I say Jump the Moon?
Yeah.
That was also there. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I just can't. Remember I texted you and said, I can't
Yeah.
get to number 10.
So
But
refresh.
I don't Love to Hate. I wanted to give some love to Black Rain.
Yeah. Did you have all 3 of those in there? You did.
Yep.
Yeah. As did I.
Yeah, so
Whole
I
World's
think we
Falling
had-
Down is one that I really struggled with. Also, I wanted it in my top 10, but
Yeah.
it just didn't quite make it.
I really enjoyed Living with the Enemy today. Did you hear my neck crack? Wow. Living with the Enemy today, I listened to it about 5 times, and I was just like, I shit on this song a lot, but I'm really, I'm loving it today.
Probably because you don't listen to it so much. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's
Yeah.
that freshness. It's like, oh yeah, like I kind of forget how good this is. You know?
I'm not exaggerating. I listened to Voodoo Dancer 4 times in a row. Like, straight
It's
through
so
in a
good.
row.
So
I was
good.
like, oh my God. The
Yeah.
only reason I have Amy ranked above it is because of the special meaning of my wife and I. It means a lot to me emotionally.
And that matters.
Yeah, and that matters. But Voodoo Dancer, it is way up there. So
Yeah.
I think we had every song but 1 or 2.
Yeah, we were actually pretty close.
Yeah, let's see. Nightmare. Did you have Amy on your list?
I did.
Yes.
That's 7.
Voodoo Dancer, I
7.
Can't Save You, Spider. So the only song we had different was I Had Hero, and you had Jump the Moon.
See, we share a brain.
I thought we were going to be all over the map, dude. That's pretty crazy. Well, thank you, listeners, and I'll let Josh take us home. But please, please share your top 10 B-sides. Let us know if there's some of these songs you've never heard before, and we've turned you on to a new Ozzy song, because that's what this show is about for Josh and I. It's the only reason I'll keep doing it besides our friendship is I want to prove the world how much of a genius Ozzy is and how fucking great.
Or if there's one that this show turns you on to more, kind of like Dan did with me with Chimp the Moon. It took, Party with the Animals, whatever. I about called it No Dogs Allowed. Okay, I know you dig it, but you got to listen a little bit closer. There's more there than you realize. Hopefully we can bring that out of some of you guys on a couple of these tracks, for sure. Voodoo Dancer. Go listen to Voodoo Dancer like right now.
Yeah, you should be listening to it if you haven't. It's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for the support. We love doing this. And again, thank you to Ryan and Josh for getting my head out of my ass.
Yeah, we're all good.
New episode will be around the corner. Now we got to figure out this episode, guys.
That record right there.
This almost ended the show for me because all the research I had to do for it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, it's killing me." So I'm just so glad to have it off my back.
Yeah,
it was a fun one. I knew I was gonna love it.
And I told Dan, I said, "Hey, if we're wrong, no big deal. Nobody's holding us to the fire with this shit, and we can't always be perfect, even though we're like damn close." Billy Morrison called us out for not being perfect that time, didn't he? When we said we thought that what was it we said? That on crack cocaine, we assumed that Steve Stevens was playing bass. And he's like, no, that's me on bass.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. Okay. We also got called out that never was performed live.
Yeah. That's right. And that dude sent us audio of that shit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, please, if you know something, let us know. If you know who's playing drums on any of these songs that we didn't know, like on Black Rain, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Until next time, though, we are signing off, and we will see you on the other side.
Thanks for coming.
No, thank you for coming.
My computer might have just froze because I saw a 1, then it went boop. So, yeah, I'm such an idiot, man. I plugged everything up today to get ready for the show, and my computer screen just popped straight up and said, please plug in battery, about to lose. And I'm like, battery's plugged in. And I'm like going over everything, making sure it's plugged in again, running to the wall, making sure the power strip's on. I'm like, what the hell's on? Then computer shuts down. And I was like, what the hell? When I was sitting here messing with everything, Dan, I had the power plugged into the headphone outlet. It was probably like that the entire last episode. I don't know. I was like, oh, it's the headphone outlet. So, yeah.
That is awesome. The other thing, too, is sending you the email. Dude, are you the last person on
100%.